So I saw an article on Newsweek about a stay-at-home mom of 20 years going back to work as a NICU nurse. Now, surely that's happening pretty often, but the viral TikTok that this mom sent to her 21-year-old daughter is what got people talking. This daughter shared the clip that her mom had sent after her first day back at work, and part of the caption of this daughter was, "She's living life for the first time." Now, regardless of context that we might be missing or the intent behind the phrase, surely a lot of moms are living this reality, that it's this whole idea that they can finally start living life for the first time once their kids are grown. And I just think that's such a shame. So today I want to talk about why this is a really dangerous mindset to have and how hopefully all of us can avoid falling into it. So I have 3 questions for you, first of all. Do you think that moms are waiting to live life until after their kids are grown? Do you think that your life is on hold while you have young kids? And do you believe that once your kids are grown, you'll finally be able to live the life you want to live? Now, if you answered yes to any of those 3 questions, I want you to know that all beliefs are optional, and there is a very high possibility that some of the beliefs that you have might not be serving you. Beliefs are just thoughts that we think over and over again. So as you go about your day with your kids as a stay-at-home mom, I want you to notice what's on your mind. What are the thoughts fueling those beliefs? So let's just put ourselves in this mom's shoes. As a stay-at-home mom of 4 young girls, why wasn't she living life? I would think likely she, like many of us, feels the pressure of these social expectations of what moms should be doing. And usually what that comes down to is she should be completely devoted to her family. If she does anything outside of the realm of homemaking and children, then she is not fulfilling her responsibilities. Another factor I think would be likely is, like many of us, she may have formed the belief that if a mom does anything for herself, she's being selfish, which is bad, of course. Selfishness is bad as a mom, and a lot of things that maybe fall under the bucket more of self-care and just taking care of yourself, our minds actually put them in the bucket of selfishness. Linked to that would definitely be the experiences that potentially this mom had when she tried to maybe do a little something to live life, but the inevitable feeling comes, which is guilt. So if ever we're focusing on something other than our children, we are going to feel guilty about that because of these beliefs. I think the last factor that's probably worth mentioning is exhaustion, right? Lacking the motivation or the energy to live life outside of your household responsibilities. That's a very real thing as a mom because we tend to drain ourselves to past the point, right? We are depleted every single day doing the things for our kids, our houses, our husbands, and so there isn't anything left over at the end for ourselves to think about living life or what we want that to look like. So let's flip this around. What could she have done differently? In those early stages, in those early years, what could she have done differently to feel like she was actually living life? Now, I think the first step is always going to be self-awareness. As moms, we need to know if we're thriving or not. We need to be able to tell if we are being fulfilled in motherhood. Is this motherhood stage that our kids are in right now, maybe it's a newborn, maybe it's a toddler, maybe they're school-age kids, is that parenting fulfilling us? Same with homemaking. Are those tasks really rewarding? Do we enjoy those things? There are definitely moms out there who fall into that category. Homemaking is their jam. Parenting is their jam. This stage of life that their toddler is in is amazing, and they're just loving it. They're loving life. And so by their definition, they are living life. This is exactly the life they wanted. It's the life they signed up for. This is amazing. However, a lot of us find ourselves not in that boat. So I was in that boat for a really long time. kind of the younger years of my children were absolutely my cup of tea. And in that stage of my life, I was very fulfilled. I was very happy. I didn't feel this need to do anything else. Like I was all set. And then something, for whatever reason, shifted. So I'd say it was like 10 years. 10 years that I was in that, just so excited and pumped to be a mom, just wanting all the good things as of being in that stage. And then something shifted and I just needed more time to myself. I was starting to feel like my life was on pause until my kids grew up. And that was my cue to make some changes. And it's at that point that we need the self-confidence to make adjustments. So first, the self-awareness that something's kind of needing to change because we're just not super happy. We're not living the life that we want to live. And then comes the self-confidence to actually do something about it. It's up to us, I'm sure you've noticed this, to go after what it is that we want. We cannot be waiting for our husbands to encourage us to do that. We cannot be waiting for it to be convenient for us to go and figure something else out. So we need to stop waiting on those things, and certainly stop waiting for our to-do list to get shorter or anything like that. It just comes down to prioritizing what it is that fills us up and making some space for it. I'm not suggesting that we suddenly go out and get a job if that's not what you want to do. This mom chose to stop working for 20 years. She probably did want to be with her children. She didn't want to be working. We're going to just say that. I think that's a safe assumption, and probably a lot of us are in that boat. Like, well, I want to be home with my kids. It's just not filling me up. Like, it's not fulfilling enough for me to feel super happy. And so this is where our creativity comes in, where we need to adapt what is realistic, what will fit into our lifestyle, so that we are still being the mom we want to be, we're still being the homemaker we want to be, and we have these options to do these other things. If we choose to stay at home, we are not going to suddenly have 40 hours a week available to just dive back into life as we knew it before we had kids, right? So we get our brains going. Really fun, honestly. It's really fun to be brainstorming and problem solving, figuring this puzzle out for what will fit the bill at this stage of life. I've talked about hobbies. I'll link that video, but I wanted to share a few examples, and I would say success stories from moms that I've worked with on how they are living life as a stay-at-home mom while their kids are still young. These women are not stalled or stagnant or just waiting around for their kids to finally be in high school. They are not miserable. They are embracing the present moment and living the life they want to right now while being an amazing mom. So one mom of 2 toddlers is very extroverted and really thrives to get together with other women. And so she organized a group for all the ladies in the neighborhood that wanted to come. It's a religious-based discussion on a general conference talk, and they enjoy snacks and they enjoy lots of visiting. She hosts every single week, and it just fills her up, and she loves this time. Another mom, also, she has 2 kids, and she is almost finished with her certification to become a reading tutor. She's a very passionate homeschooling mom and realized that she was needing a little bit of extra something for herself, and it has just been the perfect project for her when she has the time to pursue this really exciting thing. Another mom, she has 4 kids. She just started as a substitute teacher at the local elementary school. Her youngest just started all-day school, and so as a previous school teacher, she was thrilled to just get back in the classroom. It's fulfilling to her. It's the perfect fit for her life right now, where she doesn't want a big commitment, but she enjoys the little bit of extra money, and it's just the perfect fit for her to feel very happy about what she's doing. Another mom realized through my coaching program that she was craving more of what life used to be like before her 3 and almost 4 now kids came along. She now schedules time for crafting in the evenings, just at home, but she wanted to get back into crafting, as well as playing some games with her husband one-on-one. So she does that after her kids are in bed. Little tiny way for her to be very excited and feeling really fulfilled. So one other thing that I want to just point out that I think is really interesting to realize is that those were her daughter's words, right? She's finally living life again. Those were her daughter's words. And how many kids right now, maybe how many of our children would say that their mom is not living life during their childhood? Imagine for a child to have that perspective and that perception of our life, that we're not living life because we're just their mom or whatever. What lessons do we want our actions to be teaching our kids? What beliefs do we want to help shape in our daughters' minds, in our sons' minds? Is that really something that we want to solidify in them, that moms aren't living life while they have kids? And I know I definitely don't want to be perpetuating this whole idea that by staying at home with kids, we're just choosing to not live life. So if you're feeling just so torn, you're feeling like this is just really complicated because it doesn't seem so clear that we can still take care of our kids while also living and pursuing the life we really want, let me just point out that our brains really like to go to all or nothing. They want to say we're either prioritizing our kids 24/7 or we're being a horrible mom. And it is not that clear cut. We get to define and decide what our days should look like, how involved we want to be with our kids, how clean our house should be on the daily basis. All of those daily decisions are what's making up our life. So right now, decide and define what living life means to you and just start doing it. Start living life, ladies. I am very excited to hear about anything you want to share in the comments. I want to hear, are you living life? Do you feel like your life is on pause? We need to share and build each other up and encourage each other to go out and live whatever life we want to live. I will see you very soon.